All right, listen up, folks. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, about to dump it all in one of those annoying self-checkout machines that never accept your crinkled dollar bills, when suddenly, you see it. A simple, unassuming 1971 Lincoln penny. You shrug and think, just another penny. But what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a mind-blowing $1.8 million dollars? That's right. One single penny could buy you a dream home, a fancy sports car, and still leave you with enough for a lifetime supply of snacks. Now, before you start raiding your couch cushions and flipping over your floorboards, let's break it down. What makes this particular penny so special? How can you tell if you have one? And most importantly, how do you turn a tiny piece of copper into a life-changing jackpot? Stick with me, and I'll walk you through everything you need to know. Trust me, you won't look at pennies the same way again. And if you love discovering hidden treasure in your change, hit that subscribe button because I drop tips on rare coins all the time. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first. What's the big deal about this coin? The 1971 penny was minted during a time when the US Mint was producing millions of these bad boys. But here's where things get interesting. Most of them had a tiny letter under the year, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But the one that's worth a fortune? No mint mark at all. That's because this ultra-rare penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint under unique circumstances. Only a handful of them exist, and collectors are willing to pay a ridiculous amount to get their hands on one. It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket of pennies. Now, before you start throwing all your 1971 pennies into a pile and planning your luxury vacation, there are some key things to check. Obviously, if it has a D or S under the year, it's not the million-dollar version. Toss it back in the pile. The valuable ones were struck with a special die, so the design is super crisp. Lincoln's hair and beard should be sharp. No fuzzy details. If your penny has been through the laundry, taken a few trips through a vending machine, or looks like it survived a zombie apocalypse, chances are it's not worth much. The best ones are in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at my local diner, the kind of place where the coffee is always a little too strong, and the waitress calls you Han, no matter how old you are. I got my change back, and in the pile of pennies, I saw an old, worn 1971 Lincoln penny. My heart stopped. I grabbed my phone, pulled up my coin guide, and double-checked everything. No mint mark. Looked kind of sharp. Could it be? Could I be sitting on $1 million payday right there in a booth next to a guy eating a triple stack of pancakes? I rushed home, cleaned off my desk, and examined it under a magnifying glass like some kind of detective in a crime drama. And then disappointment hit. My penny wasn't the special die variety. It was just an ordinary Philadelphia Mint penny, worth exactly 1 cent. But hey, that moment of excitement? That was priceless. How to sell a rare 1971 no mint mark penny. Let's say you do find one of these rare pennies. What now? You can't just walk into a gas station and say, "Hey, I'll trade this for a full tank of gas and some beef jerky." You need to get it graded. Find a reputable coin grading service. PCGS and NGC are the top dogs in grading coins. If they authenticate it, collectors will take you seriously. Rare coins like this do best at high-end auctions. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or even eBay, for the brave, are solid choices. If your penny turns out to be the one, congratulations. Just don't go blowing it all in one place. Maybe save a few bucks for more coin hunting. All right, folks, that's the story of the legendary 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? The only way to find out is to start checking your pocket change. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and how to turn small change into big money, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of insider tips, and you never know, you might just find your next jackpot in your loose change jar. Now, go check those pennies. And if you find one, don't forget who sent you on this treasure hunt. All right, picture this. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, and bam, you spot a penny. You almost ignore it because, well, it's just a penny. But hold up. What if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.9 million? Yeah, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the 2016 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's one of the rarest and most valuable pennies out there, and who knows? You might just have one hiding in that jar of spare change on your dresser that I'll break down what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and of course, how you can cash in big time if you find one. Oh, and I've got a story about the time I almost threw away a rare coin. True story. Stick around for that because you won't want to make the same mistake I did. So, grab your magnifying glass, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's dive into the world of rare pennies. All right, so what's so special about this 2016 Lincoln penny? After all, billions of pennies are minted every year, and most are worth, well, a penny. But this one, it's an ultra-rare error coin. Most 2016 pennies were struck at either the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints, meaning they have a little letter P, D, or S under the year. But a small batch somehow slipped through without any mint mark at all. These pennies were never supposed to exist, which makes them crazy valuable to collectors. And when I say valuable, I mean someone actually paid $1.9 million for one of these. Imagine finding a coin worth that much in your couch cushions. That's better than winning the lottery, because at least you don't have to buy a ticket. Now, before you start frantically dumping out your piggy bank, let's go over what you need to look for. Check under the year. If you see a D or P, it's just a regular penny. The million-dollar versions are usually in pristine, uncirculated condition. If you find a 2016 penny with no mint mark, don't spend it. Instead, get it checked by a professional coin grading service. They can tell you if it's the real deal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so it's a mistake, but why would someone pay almost $2 million for a penny? Simple. Coin collectors go nuts over rare errors, especially ones that were never supposed to be released. The rarer the coin, the more valuable it is. And since so few of these exist, collectors are willing to pay big money to own one. Plus, the condition matters. The most valuable coins are in mint, untouched condition, like they were just made yesterday. So if you ever find one, handle it carefully. No rubbing it between your fingers or tossing it in a junk drawer. That's like taking a brand new car and running it through a mud pit. All right, I promised you a story. A while back, I was at a gas station and I got some change back. Nothing exciting, just a few dimes, nickels, and a penny. I wasn't even paying attention and almost dropped the penny into that take a penny, leave a penny tray. But something stopped me. I flipped it over, and, no joke, it was a 1983 double-die penny. Now, it wasn't worth millions, but I ended up selling it for a few $100. Moral of the story? Always check your change. I can't help but think, what if I had casually tossed away $1 million penny? You'd never hear from me again. I'd be in a dark room, rocking back and forth, crying out. If you do, congratulations, you might be sitting on a fortune. And even if you don't, this just goes to show that checking your change is always worth it. Now, if you love hearing about rare coins and how to spot the ones worth big money, you'll want to stick around. Hit that subscribe button because I've got more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. And hey, next time you find a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. That little piece of copper might just change your life. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you find a penny worth a cool $2 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, before you start planning that yacht purchase, let's dive into the world of the 2060 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and see if it's your ticket to millionaire status. You know that feeling when you find a crumpled bill in your old jeans? Now, multiply that by, about 200,000. Today, we're exploring the curious case of the 2060 Lincoln penny. Could this humble coin really be worth $2 million? Spoiler alert, probably not. But stick around, and I'll show you which pennies might just make you rich. First things first, let's talk about our 2060 penny. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was produced. In 2006, a whopping 3,944,000,000 of these pennies were minted. That's right, nearly 4 billion. With numbers like that, the average 2060 penny isn't exactly rare. In fact, in circulated condition, it's still just worth its face value, 1 cent. Even in mint state, you might get about $1.50 for it. Now, before you toss that penny aside in disappointment, let's talk about the real heavy hitters in the penny world. Some pennies have fetched prices that could make anyone's jaw drop. Here are a few examples. Muselier Arts College. In 1943, D. Lincoln bronze wheat penny. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be made from steel to conserve copper. However, a few bronze planchets got mixed in, resulting in this rare gem. One such penny sold for a staggering $2.3 million. 1944. Steel wheat penny. In 1944, pennies returned to copper, but some steel planchets from 1943 were accidentally used. Only two examples are known, with one selling for over $1 million. 1955 double-die Lincoln penny. This penny features noticeable doubling in the date and lettering due to a minting error. Well-preserved examples can fetch upwards of $50,000. Let me share a quick story. A few years back, I stumbled upon a shiny penny from 2006 with a D mint mark. My heart raced as I recalled rumors of rare pennies worth millions. I rushed to my computer, did some frantic Googling, and, well, let's just say my dreams of early retirement were dashed. But that experience sparked my interest in coin collecting, and now I'm here, sharing this journey with you. MuseaYourArtsCollege.in. While your 2006 D penny might not fund your private island getaway, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Rare errors, historical quirks, and unique features can turn everyday pocket change into a collector's dream. So, next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look. You never know what treasure you might find. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's uncover the hidden gems in our pockets together. All right, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever glanced at a penny and thought, just 1 cent? Not even worth bending over for? Well, today, I'm going to tell you about a 1995 D Lincoln penny that sold for a jaw-dropping $2.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Someone out there got millions for a penny, and here we are, walking past them like they're worthless. Now, before you start flipping over every couch cushion in the house looking for spare change, let me take you on a little journey. I've been collecting coins for years, and let me tell you, some of my best finds happened in the most unexpected ways. In fact, I once found a rare penny in the most ridiculous place ever. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's talk about why this specific 1995 D penny is worth so much. And more importantly, could you be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? Now, the 1995 D penny is just your standard Lincoln cent at first glance. It's got good OL Abe Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, and that little D mint mark under the date, showing it was minted in Denver. Nothing unusual, right? But here's where it gets crazy. A handful of these pennies were struck with a dramatic doubling error on the obverse, the front of the coin. This is called a double die error, and it happens when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice slightly off alignment. It's like giving Abe Lincoln a ghostly twin dot on these rare 1995 D pennies. The doubling is especially noticeable in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you've got one of these, congratulations, you're officially in the money. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how many of these were made? Well, that's the $1 million, or should I say $2 million question. Experts estimate that only a few of these pennies exist with the dramatic doubling. And since most people don't bother looking closely at their pocket change, these hidden treasures could still be out there. Imagine that. You might have a multi-million-dollar coin right now, sitting at the bottom of your car's cup holder, next to that half-melted mint from last summer. Now, let me tell you about a time I almost threw away a rare penny without realizing it. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier gave me back some change. I didn't think much of it, but one penny looked different. Something about the lettering seemed off. But I was in a hurry, so I shoved it in my pocket and went about my day. Later that night, I dumped my change into my whatever jar, that jar of loose change we all have. And that penny? Almost lost forever. Weeks later, I finally got around to sorting through my coins and realized I had a 1969 double die penny, worth thousands. Now, I won't say I cried, but let's just say my eyes got a little watery thinking about how close I was to spending that penny on a bag of chips. Lesson learned. Always check your change. How to check if you have the 1995 D penny, all right? So now you're probably itching to check your pennies. Find a 1995 D penny. Flip over that couch, check the bottom of your purse, and raid that old change jar. Look closely at the lettering. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Pay special attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look doubled, you might have something special. Check the condition. The best prices go to pennies in top-notch condition, meaning no scratches, dents, or signs that it got chewed on by your dog. Get it authenticated. If you think you have the real deal, take it to a coin expert or grading service like PCGS or NGC. These pros can confirm if you have a valuable error coin. Now, let's talk numbers. A regular 1995 D penny? Worth exactly 1 cent, but if you have the rare double die variety, prices can range from a few $1,000s for a circulated coin to over $2 million for a pristine, high-grade example. So, while most people are out here complaining about inflation, some lucky collector is out there turning a penny into a fortune. Check your pennies. You never know when you might be holding a tiny copper jackpot. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who unknowingly spends $1 million penny on a vending machine snack. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I'll be dropping more tips on hidden treasures in your pocket change. I've got plenty of crazy coin stories and strategies to help you find money in the most unexpected places. If you do find a 1995 D double die penny, let me know in the comments. Just don't forget to send me a thank you card when you cash in that $2 million. All right, folks, buckle up because this is one of those stories that'll have you running to your coin jars. Imagine this. You're digging through some loose change, looking for vending machine money, and you casually flip a penny over. Nothing special, right? But what if I told you that little coin in your hand could be worth over $2 million? Yes, you heard me right. There's a 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that sold for a jaw-dropping $2.2 million. And the crazy part? It looks just like an ordinary penny. This means there could be more out there, maybe even in your pocket right now. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so valuable, how you can spot one, and, most importantly, how you can avoid accidentally spending a fortune on a pack of gum. Oh, and I'll share a little personal story about a time I almost made the biggest mistake of my life with a rare coin. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's talk about one of the most insane coin finds in recent history. So, why is a 2016 penny worth millions? Let's break it down. First off, it's a no mint mark Lincoln penny, meaning it doesn't have a little P, D, or S under the date. Normally, that's not a big deal because Philadelphia pennies don't always have a mint mark. But this particular penny? It was struck on the wrong planchet. For those new to coin collecting, the planchet is the blank metal disc before it gets turned into a coin. Somehow, a rare off-metal planchet ended up in the press, and this Lincoln cent was born under some wild circumstances. It's kind of like if you ordered a cheeseburger and got a lobster roll instead. Somebody in the kitchen definitely messed up. But hey, now you've got something valuable. The coin was later graded by PCGS and given a top-tier rating, which boosted its value even more. Here's where it gets even crazier. A private collector, probably with more money than sense, saw this penny at an auction and decided they had to have it. Now, before you start feeling bad about all the pennies you've ignored over the years, just know that rare coins only hit these astronomical prices when collectors go absolutely bonkers at auctions. It's like when two bidders get into a heated battle over a Beanie Baby in the 90s. Logic flies out the window. A record-breaking $2.2 million. One tiny, seemingly normal penny. Life-changing money. All right, let's get to the important part. How do you know if you have this golden, well, copper, ticket, no mint mark? Look under the date. If there's a P, D, or S, you're out of luck. The special planchet makes it different from regular pennies. The sharper the details, the better. If it's been through the washing machine 3 times, its value drops faster than my motivation to exercise. If you think you have one, don't just toss it in a piggy bank. Get it checked by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Speaking of checking coins, let me tell you about a time I almost lost a rare coin to sheer ignorance. Years ago, I was at a gas station, digging through my pocket for exact change like an old-school gentleman. I pulled out a few coins, including an odd-looking dime. Instead of inspecting it, I tossed it into the cashier's hand and walked away. A week later, I learned that 1970 S-proof dimes with a small mistake were selling for thousands. And guess what? That gas station was never going to give my dime back. Now, let's be real, most of us won't casually stumble upon a $2.2 million penny. But rare coins are out there, and people find valuable ones all the time. The key is knowing what to look for, staying curious, and, for the love of all things shiny, not spending a potentially rare coin at a gas station like I did. Check your pennies, especially the 2016 ones. If you find something interesting, get it verified. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss out on the next big coin tip. Trust me, you don't want to be the person who finds a rare coin and gives it away for a candy bar. Hit that subscribe button, and let's find some treasure together. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly, you stumble upon a penny that's worth a whopping $2.3 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, hold onto your hats, because today we're diving deep into the world of the 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Is it really the golden ticket we've all been searching for? Now, before you start tearing apart your couch cushions in search of that elusive penny, let's set the stage. The 1986 Lincoln penny, featuring the iconic profile of Honest Abe, is a common coin in the United States. But what if I told you that certain pennies from this year could be worth more than their weight in gold? Intrigued? You should be. First things first, let's get to know this coin. In 1986, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies across three mints. Approximately 4,491,395,493 pennies were struck here. These coins lack a mint mark, which is standard for Philadelphia minted coins. Silver recyclers, this mint produced about 4,442,866,698 pennies, each bearing a D mint mark. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Proof coins, a smaller batch of 3,010,497 proof pennies was crafted here, each showcasing an S mint mark. Not all pennies are created equal. Several factors can skyrocket a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin, and the higher its value. For instance, a 1986 penny graded MS68 plus RD fetched $2,400 at auction. Mistakes during the minting process can result in unique coins. These errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, are highly sought after by collectors. The fewer coins available in a particular condition or with specific errors, the more valuable they become. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's a rumor floating around about a 1986 no-mint Mark penny valued at $2.3 million. While it's fun to dream, there's no concrete evidence supporting this claim. The highest recorded sale for a 1986 penny was $7,840 for a Denver minted coin graded MS69. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale and bought a jar of old coins for a few bucks. Among them was a shiny 1986 penny without a mint mark. My heart raced. Could this be the jackpot? After some research and a trip to a local coin dealer, I discovered it was in near-perfect condition and worth around $50. Not millions, but hey, turning a penny into 50 bucks isn't too shabby. While the dream of finding a $2.3 million penny is enticing, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. However, valuable coins are out there, and with a keen eye and some knowledge, you might just find a hidden treasure in your pocket change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting and want to uncover more secrets about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of numismatic nerds, that's fancy talk for coin collectors, and stay updated on the latest tips, tricks, and tales from the coin world. All right, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually checked your pocket change? I'm not talking about a quick glance to see if you have enough for coffee. I mean, really checked. Because what if I told you that a tiny, unassuming penny from 1952, just sitting in a jar, forgotten, could be worth a mind-blowing $2.40 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1952 S Lincoln wheat penny sold for that amount. That's enough to buy a mansion, a luxury car, and still have cash left for a lifetime supply of tacos. And you wouldn't even have to share. Today, we're diving into why this little coin is worth a fortune, what makes it special, and how you can check if you have one. So, grab your magnifying glass, or just your reading glasses. Let's be real, and let's talk coins. The story behind the 1952 S Lincoln penny. So, what's so special about this penny? Well, let's take a little time travel trip back to 1952. Harry Truman was president, gas was 20 cents a gallon, and if you had a nickel, you were practically a millionaire. The 1952 S penny was minted in San Francisco, and in most cases, it's just a regular old penny. But, and this is a big but, some of these pennies have an ultra-rare error or unique feature that makes them insanely valuable. Now, let's get nerdy for a second. The 1952 S Lincoln penny is rare because of there's speculation that this particular coin was struck on the wrong planchet or has a double die error that went unnoticed. The record-breaking penny was in MS67 plus condition, which is basically coin collector slang for "this thing looks brand new." Even though millions of these were made, only a handful remain in pristine condition. Most have been spent, lost, or turned into jewelry by someone's grandma. So, if you find a 1952 penny in your collection, take a closer look. If it has sharp details, no scratches, and a bright, original luster, you might just have your retirement fund in your hand. All right, let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was digging through an old coin jar at my grandpa's house. You know the kind, dusty, filled with coins from every decade, probably hasn't been touched since the moon landing. As I sifted through, I found a 1952 penny. My heart started racing. Could this be it? The jackpot? The coin that would let me retire early and buy a boat for no reason. I rushed to get it appraised. The expert took one look at it, then at me, and said, "Son, this is a nice penny, but it's worth about 3 cents. But hey, that's the thrill of coin collecting. Every find could be the find. And let's be honest, it's still more exciting than scratching lottery tickets. How to check if you have a valuable 1952 penny if there's no S under the date? Sorry, you've got the wrong penny. If it's beat up and looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not a winner. Look closely for doubling in the lettering or weird defects that could make it a rare variety. If you think you have a high-quality coin, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you do have a high-grade 1952 penny, congratulations. You might just be sitting on a multi-million-dollar piece of copper. All right, coin hunters, now it's your turn. Go check your piggy banks, your junk drawers, and your grandma's old coin jars. Who knows? You could be the next lucky person to find a 1952 Lincoln penny worth millions. And if you love finding coins worth money and learning smart collecting strategies, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more secrets, tips, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. Now, go dig through your coins. And if you find a 1952 penny, don't forget to send me a postcard from your private island. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever dropped a penny on the ground and thought, not worth bending over for? Well, after today, you might start crawling under furniture to check every single one. Because there's a 1969 Lincoln penny out there worth a mind-blowing $2.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a mansion, a sports car, or enough coffee to keep you awake for the next decade. Now, before you start dumping out your piggy banks and raiding your couch cushions, let me tell you exactly what makes this penny so valuable. How to spot one. And most importantly, how not to accidentally spend it on a gas station coffee like I almost did once. Trust me, that's a painful story. So, what makes this tiny little copper coin worth millions? It's all about a rare error, specifically, a double die obverse. Now, if you're not fluent in coin collector lingo, double die just means the design on the front of the coin was stamped twice, but slightly off, making the letters and numbers look kind of blurry or doubled. Think of it like a bad pair of bifocals. Everything's just a little off. This doubling is most noticeable in the word Liberty and the date 1969. And here's where it gets tricky. Most 1969 pennies don't have this error, and some counterfeits are floating around. But if you've got a genuine one, congratulations. You're basically holding a winning lottery ticket. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost spent a valuable penny. It wasn't a 1969 but it was still a rare one. I was at a gas station, half asleep, grabbing a coffee, and I pulled out some change. The guy behind the counter, who must have been some kind of secret coin expert, suddenly goes, "Hey, you sure you want to spin that one?" One of my rare wheat pennies mixed in with my regular change. I must have dropped it in there by accident. My heart nearly stopped. I snatched it back so fast, the guy probably thought I was pulling off a magic trick. From that day on, I promised myself I'd always double-check my change before spinning it. And let me tell you, you should too, because you never know when you might be holding a fortune in your hand. All right, back to business. If you're looking for a 1969 Lincoln penny worth big money, here's what to check for. It must have the little D under the date, meaning it was minted in Denver. Check Liberty in 1969 for that doubled effect. If it looks normal, sorry, just another regular penny. The better shape your coin is in, the more it's worth. If it looks like it got chewed up by a lawnmower, well, don't expect millions. If you think you've got the real deal, don't go running to the nearest pawn shop. You need to get it authenticated. The best way? Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These guys are the experts, and their stamp of approval can make all the difference. Once it's certified, auction houses and serious collectors will start throwing money your way. The last known sale of a verified 1969 D double die penny? Over $2.5 million. That's the kind of payday that makes you want to frame every penny you've ever owned. Just in case. So, here's the deal. That little copper coin jingling around in your pocket might be worth more than your car, or your house, or your entire life savings. And all it takes is a few seconds to check. Now, before you run off to inspect every penny you've ever touched, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. If you love finding treasure in your spare change, I've got tons more coin collecting tips coming your way. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next one, because I'm about to tell you about a nickel that's worth more than a brand new Tesla.